Gemini. So today we are talking about retrograde in Mercury, also in Aries. And we have two questions to ask so that Gemini, you can prepare yourself during retrograde, or let's just see how the outcome is going to be out of retrograde. The first question we have here is, what areas in your life will be affected during retrograde? Well, okay, areas in your life that will be affected during retrograde. I have here the World card. You completing cycles, karmic cycles, you completing relationships, situationships, jobs. I just feel like, when you're just like about ready to like close a chapter. I feel like you're having issues closing the chapter, ending the relationship, leaving a job. And I feel like, Gemini, that is going to set you back. It's going to bring a lot of confusion into your life, because it's kind of like you are confused, Gemini, when you are stagnant. And if you're not closing these chapters, that means you are stagnant. That means you are not growing. That means you are not pushing forward, which is going to leave you confused because you're not understanding in your mind why. You know what I mean? Like, why? Or why can't you move forward? Why can't you end things? I see here, like, number one, you're going to have issues like with balancing relationships, life, work life. And I just feel like, I even see here with I'm nervous too, like, Gemini. I feel like, retrograde is definitely going to shake things up. It's going to make you see things for what it is within yourself. Forget everybody else. It's within yourself. Why don't you have confidence? Like, why aren't you confident enough to like step into your power? You know what I mean? You're going to start seeing these things and you're going to really think like, wow, why am I not stepping into my power? Why am I scared to, let's say, end this relationship? Or why can't I walk away from this job? Like, why? What is the reason? Break that down, Gemini, during retrograde, because I feel like once you realize the why, I feel like it will be so much easier for you to, once again, close these chapters. Now, what positive transformations do we have for Gemini coming out of retrograde? Let's see. What positive transformations? Wow. You know what that means, Gemini? You carrying out, closing these chapters. Woo-hoo. I feel like you are going to come out of retrograde powerful, more powerful than you ever were. Why? Than you ever was. Why? Because you identified the issue. You identified the problem. You identified whatever it is that you needed to identify in order for you to gain the confidence and the strength to carry things out. Sorry about that. Okay, what else? Okay, we have the Seven of Swords. What positive transformations? Clarify the Seven of Swords. Clarify the Seven of Swords. Okay, I feel like you're not going to worry about how anybody feels, how anyone thinks of you. Even like I told you, leaving a job, like, you're not going to care about how they feel. You're doing what's best for you. You're not going to care about ending a relationship. Why? Because it wasn't working out for you anyway. So why are you going to stick around and settle? Why are you going to stick around and waste time? Their time, your time. So you're not going to care, if things obviously don't work out. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it wasn't working out to begin with anyway. And also I feel like, you know, you're going to take your time out to really start thinking about these impulsive decisions. Because one thing about you, Gemini, you guys can get impulsive, okay? When you guys get a thought, boom, you're impulsive. So I feel like, you know, even with the Seven of Swords, it's kind of like you need to be a little bit more sneaky with yourself, with yourself, and thinking more, taking your time, and really executing things. I said execution style, meaning like as an executive, you know what I'm saying? As a leader, because I feel like that is who you are, Gemini. I just feel like sometimes you just be so socially involved, head in the clouds. Sometimes you overthink so much that sometimes you just forget the vision. You forget the plan. You forget the motion. And I feel like sometimes you get lost in the sauce. And I feel like it's not your fault. You know what I mean? I feel like in nature, like you overthink, you think a lot, you're always involved in something, you're always curious about life. But I feel like the positive transformation coming out of retrograde is that you're going to learn yourself more so that you can know, okay, you know what? I do need to calm down when it comes to making decisions, weighing out my options, and then executing executing the plan. You know what I'm saying? Last messages for Gemini, because I feel like this is not over. I feel like the messages is not over. We have here Two of Wands. Okay. Wow. Positive transformation. Yes, I see here you moving to a better space, meaning spiritually. It's kind of like you're going to have some type of like spiritual like awakening or maybe trigger during retrograde. That after retrograde, it's only going to allow you, once again, we already talked about you stepping in your power. But like once you step into your power, you're going to see how powerful you are. That is going to allow you to push these goals, dreams, aspirations, or just anything that you've been manifesting or been wanting to manifest for so long. You're going to see how powerful you are to bring these things that you've been wanting to manifest to light. Okay, like you're gonna feel like, you know, like you have powers, you know, magic powers. And I feel like use these powers for greatness. All right. And these greatnesses are things to get you ahead, things that you've been wanting to complete, Gemini. So step into your power, Gemini, and let's get things going, because you wasted enough time with your head in the clouds, okay? You wasted enough time socializing, okay, with Betty Boop over there, okay? Let's get to it, Gemini.